It's now time to deal with the sway bar bushings. Lots of play in those. So I sprayed some penetrating oil on the back of them. Hope they won't break, but we'll find out. And just like that, new sway bar bushings are in. We're gonna cobble the exhaust up. This is not a proper exhaust system, but this was all rotten here where the flanges were, so we got a 3-inch catted down pipe going to the exhaust. I had to use something to go from 3-inch down to the stock exhaust. Again, not super proper. We'll weld that back on after, and then cut out the flanges here and just weld the sleeve. I'm not putting too much effort into it because it's a Subaru stock exhaust. The moment someone owns this car, that's coming off. They're gonna straight pipe it or something. There it is. Kind of ugly, but functional. So, I'm gonna throw the wheels on it and go on a test drive. Frig yeah. I gotta leave the clutch for it. Oh! Well, I was just about to go on a test drive and tried to put the car in gear, and it didn't want to go in gear. The clutch won't disengage, which is really weird because all the hydraulics seem to be moving like they should. You gonna step on the clutch pedal for me? You can see what I mean. It feels normal. You can see that is moving as it should.
Oh no. It's not releasing now.
What do you mean?
Now the clutch is...
Oh, I was fucking with it. One sec. Pull the pedal up. You have to pump it up a few times. Yeah. There you go. So lots of action on that. It's almost 6 o'clock and I'm about to start pulling the engine back out. Let's see if I can get this out quick. Frig!
Darn it.
Yeah. I'm gonna remember this one. Well, that was the fastest I've ever removed an engine. From start to finish, it was about an hour. So yeah, took the clutch back off. Could not see any issues with it. Like, obviously it looks like shit, but the pressure plate looks fine. Everything looks normal. I went digging through our scrap metal bin in the corner, found another clutch. This is the same as this one. That looks better than the one I pulled out of the car. So I'm gonna clean this up because I know this looks pretty whack. Put put this on, throw the engine back in, kind of half-assed, barely bolted together, and get it to run. Like, I'm not even gonna put an intercooler in it, not gonna hook up a rad, but just enough to get it to run so I could see if I can engage and disengage the clutch. If it works, thank God we had just changed the clutch, because I needed that pressure plate. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna stay late, and I think I'm gonna be very upset, and I'm gonna strip this entire car tonight for parts. So if you guys need parts, you better hope this new pressure plate doesn't solve the issue. Yeah, I'm tired already. Fuck. All right, the engine back in, a few things bolted together. The clutch is all hooked up the way it should be though, and that's the issue I'm trying to solve. So now, before I assemble the whole engine, to make sure that this works, I put the shifter in 6th. I got a torque wrench against the brake pedal and the seat, so the clutch is pushed down. So now, in theory, if the engine is turning and the clutch is pushed down, the wheels should not be turning. Let's test out my theory. So what I'm doing now is just I've got a ratchet on the crank and I'm just turning the engine over. And with the car in 6th, the wheels should be spinning if it's in gear. But with the clutch depressed, it shouldn't. So, sorry guys, it's so late I don't even know if I'm making sense here. Basically, the car's in 6th, yeah, the clutch is down, and I'm turning the engine and the wheels are not spinning, which is good. Now to test my theory, I'm going to release the clutch by removing the torque wrench. And now when I spin the engine, the wheels should spin. Oh my God, I did it! So somehow, I have no idea how. Okay, first of all, you guys are gonna say it looks like shit, but this worked. Took the engine out of the car, put the engine back in, and this stopped working. I don't know how. Holy fuck, I just realized how. Sorry for swearing. Look at that. The spring has popped off of the... Yeah, this is normally supposed to be hooked around that. Like that. Notice how this, like these are the springs that hold pressure down, basically. And that's supposed to be hooked around that. And this one isn't. That was my problem. Oh, I am so happy now. I swear, if this wouldn't have solved the issue, I was going to part the car out tonight. Holy shit. I feel so good right now. So tired, but so good. Guess I'm gonna finish putting the engine in, since I'm already here. And, what time is it? It's 8 o'clock. Hopefully by 10 o'clock I'm done. Because mentally and physically I'm already done. There we go. She's all back in, all hooked up, all connected. I think. I haven't tried to start it yet. It is 9:40. So in a little under 4 hours, I got the engine out, pressure plate replaced, and the engine back in. So I guess now it's time to see if she'll fire and see if the clutch will engage and disengage. Make sure I'm not going to launch off the hoist. thank you God, it works. This car was that close to being parted out. Like, if we didn't have a used pressure plate in that scrap metal pile, this car would have been a part out. Ooh, I am tired. Well, after getting the engine in the car back in for the second time, I was able to take it on a test drive, and it is like a totally different vehicle. It has functioning power steering, the brakes don't try to jerk the wheel out of your hand, it isn't leaking a liter of oil an hour, which is nice. Yeah, there was only one problem. After fixing all that, I could hear that this wheel bearing is making some noise. So looks like this should be the last bit of mechanical work the car will need. We got the brake caliper off and hung on the strut. Up next, getting the hub off. For that, 32mm socket on there, and then we got to get these rusty bolts out. I'm going to start by spraying them with penetrating oil. Then the head of the bolt is around back, kind of in there somewhere. Yeah, I'm going to fight with those, and then we're going to fight to get the hub off. I got 3 out of the 4 bolts for the hub assembly out. The last one, the one down here, she's not moving, so we're going to motivate it with a little bit of heat. And now that I've sprayed that with penetrating oil, we should have a little bit of fire, which is a good thing, I guess. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whew, she is tight. Holy crap, they're out. That was at least 20 minutes of air hammering. It was probably the worst one I've ever done. The issue is it rusts, here, hold on, it's hard to do with one hand. Basically, it rusts around the edge here, inside the spindle, and it does not want to come out. There's the spindle with everything removed. Yeah, to prevent that, I grease up the new one, and inside the spindle, I clean up the rust with like a barrel sander, and then, what's it called, I spray some lube on there. Fortunately, did get a little bit into the spindle with the air hammer. Not ideal, but honestly, I was thinking this might not come out, and I was worried I was going to have to pull the whole spindle off and try to press it out on the bench. Thank God, I didn't have to. And just like that, she's all back together. Well, that is it for this video, guys. If you want to see more of what happens with this car, make sure you hit like and subscribe. The next part of this build will be all about the cosmetics of this car, so we'll be replacing that broken front bumper, painting the roof, and giving the paint a polish. Here's a little secret. I've already done the polish. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, and enjoy the videos.